And welcome back to the channel, guys. So the German police stopped us because they thought the RS6 is stolen. Then they found out it's slow as fuck, so they let us go again.
Udiala sa taká vec, že pre Sure bolo 1,5, pozri krásne rovných 2500 a na konci máme 1,3. Nebude fúkať do turbo, ani keď sa pomodlíme. Krásne hladko išlo, ale 1,3.
My sme potrebovali 1,5 aj na konci, no.
Že požiadavka je 1,5, vieš, a v SGT na 95.
Len snívajte s nami, no.
Takže tu už nebude ani náhodou.
And we are back to the garage. We have a S5 on the run. I'll be a health check. RS made it from Slovakia to UK again. However, we did have a small issue. I will explain you what issue. And also, we didn't make the 1000 bhp again. Meanwhile, S4 on the ramp, SQ5, which is finished, a diesel. And let me tell you what happened. So the engine didn't blow up apparently because we made it. But a bit disappointed because I was really thinking when we sort out the fuel and air take temperature and everything, it will be working. I did have information from MRC, what you've seen in the previous video, if you remember, million years ago. And I was told I need Porsche injectors, so I bought them. I was told I need these relief valves, so I bought them. I was told I need I don't know what, so I bought it because apparently they built an over 1000 bhp RS6 V10. So what happened on the dyno? We have to stop for a while because my 17-year-old hose went kaboom. And it went kaboom in the most brilliant way because it was out. So I'm not sure when exactly it happened. On the Nürburgring it was definitely pushing the power what it should be pushing because I have the water methanol with the gauge in the middle and the car feel all right. So as soon as the hose went pop, like completely pop, you can feel it was down on power, and obviously we made about 700 bhp. Still good output for a hose which is quite like that. So currently I have two new Genian hoses coming from the turbo to the intercoolers, and there was no more leak. We put the car on the dyno the second time, and obviously I tried to change loads of stuff. The car is running a bit rich, which is a problem, not a problem, but it's not critical. The lambda was like 0.75, 6, I believe, and he tried to make it like 0.80. So he tried to mess about with the regulator valves on the high pressure pumps and tried to do the injection timing and stuff, which didn't help. Reason why: the Porsche injectors don't want to open above 110 bars of pressure on the rail. So that's the first problem. So the reason why I want to strip the engine down from the top is to replace the injector for the genuine ones and just put on the new pumps the upgraded pistons, so there will be more capacity, more fuel going through, and it will be much easier for the tuner to actually do it. There will be much larger scale to play with. So the other problem what we're having is the turbos. When I spoke with Profit Tuning, and I'm sending them the data logs from UK, and we have like high temperature on the intake in June. He told me like, okay, it's been all cut it down because the temperature is too high. Sort out the air intake temperatures, make the water methanol to work, which is working now. With the air temperature was like 25, 26 degrees on the day because it was quite cold. And still we have a problem. Well, the thing is, these TTE 1000 plus turbos meant to do 1000 bhp as they are. Everything was stored online. It's easy, just gonna put it on there and it will be boosting like hell. So when I contact TTE in Germany, I told them what we have, what's the peak, what's the boost till the 7000 RPM, and I was told it sounds about normal. When I was comparing the dyno printouts from the sedan one, what I think MRC did, looks like they have the same amount of boost, but my power output was 870, 80-ish. And their power output was 1070. So I was like, we have a restriction in the air filter. So we took all the filters out, we left the boxes open and everything. So we at least can check the blower valves. They were working fine. There was no like a leak. And still the same output. Then we put ethanol in the tank, same output. The low pressure fuel is sorted from the tank, but still we are struggling to even go over 900 bhp. One thing is, Poprad in Slovakia is quite high, like when it comes to above sea. So the air pressure was like 870, something like that millibars, and around the UK is almost over 1000 all the time. So I'm not sure if that makes any difference. Probably, I don't know, but we were not even close to 1000 bhp. This thing is just taking the piss because I have to take the engine out again, especially for the turbos, because I was watching every performance, and Mr. Ricky was saying that they upgraded fuel pump. Obviously, MRC is saying you don't need upgrading the fuel pump, which I think is not true because the pressure is getting ridiculously low, and we need 2 pumps there, actually, what I have now. So the pressure right now to 7000 RPM is like 6-7 bars till the end with no issues. RE Performance is saying that these turbos, which I believe is true because I tested it, the wastegate is opening about 1.1 bar, and our theory at the moment is that the spring is actually not holding the wastegate fully shut, which means it leaks and all the exhaust gases are not getting on the turbo to spin it, but it's going around the flap and into the exhaust. So that's theory number 1. To do that, and of course what I want to do, what I was discussing at Nürburgring, it is a done thing. In February I want to take the engine out and do a 8-speed ZF swap, which will be quite interesting. We'll be doing it in a bit of work together with Mr. USA again, who helped us with the DSG manual swap. Thank you very much. That will be another project, or upgrade, let's call it, and we'll see how that goes, because we already have the gearbox from the SQ5 here, and I tried to put it against my timing chain plate from the V10, and it didn't really want to go together too much. The holes are lining up probably on the top, like 3 of them with the bolts. So I'm not sure if we have to do some kind of a plate there or try to adjust it to fit it, but we'll see. That will be February time. Currently I'm gonna put the car in sleep. Also I have to strip down the calipers in the front, because this is how the caliper actually look like after 12-13,000 miles. So the paint is cracking, and they were refurbed like 6 months ago, so they should be under warranty. I'll be sending them out, get them all done. The other side is not cracked yet. Oh, it actually is, unfortunately. So crack, paint peeling off and stuff. So it doesn't look good, so I want to get that done. Also the wheels, the lacquer is peeling from them, so that needs actually sorting and just make the car look alike again. The reason why we had an issue on the way from Slovakia to UK was we ran out of fuel. The V10 is pretty much indestructible engine. It can only run out of fuel to stop it from working. So what I did in the tank is actually good to try out if it's working. So it is working, but there is no basket. And how the fuel is moving left to right, the gauge still shows me like half of the full tank, but it was not circulating from the left side of the tank to the right side of the tank. And we ran out of fuel in Austria, so I have a bit of a help from our friend from Linz. He bring me a bit of a fuel. And since then, I was just keeping the eye at 200 miles and I have to stop. So I was refilling like very, very soon, all the time. So that needs doing. The rear differential is making funny noises, probably from all the Nürburgring laps, but never mind, because we'll be doing the swap with the gearbox, so we need the differential, we need dry shaft, we need prop shaft, we need everything. And apart from that, I must say I did enjoy the car. So all the miles, what I did was quite, I would say, all right. I have issues with the intake hose, what you've seen. When I went for the trucking in Slovakia, because I was changing the tires, so I went for trucking, the guys ran me one of the coolant hose pop. What can you do? Not a 17-year-old hose. So the plan is when the engine is actually coming out and we're going to do the gearbox and everything, I want to change every single coolant hose, every single U-B clip and everything. What is there as a coolant system, oil system, and just make it work 100%, because I was lucky that it didn't happen on Nürburgring that weekend and I didn't end up on the recovery and stuff. So it's always tricky with the old cars. The engine is holding nicely, that is not a problem. Oil consumption, I believe I have like 1 liter per 1,000 miles, something like that, which is not that bad. I was running the whole year 10W60 Mobile 1 and it was alright. So the car has catalytic converters and everything. I couldn't really smell like oil burn from the engine or anything like that, so that's good. And what else is wrong with the car? It needs cleaning, 100%. It needs servicing afterwards again. And yes, the air conditioning is not working. So I thought it's low on gas because it shows only 6 bars of pressure. But apparently what I was saying on the way home, that the air conditioning radiator is covered. So you can probably see now, this is, I believe, power steering radiator. Behind it is one more coolant radiator, and behind that is air conditioning radiator. And in front of those we have the, where are they? The coolant radiators, I believe it's behind there. So yeah, we have to do something about it, because the air conditioning will be an endless problem, unfortunately. So I'm thinking to maybe swap the air conditioning radiator with the other one, or do something with it, or maybe try to do a small radiator in the front, because when I checked the diagnostic, the fault code with overheating was like at 170 degrees or something like that, which is quite high. And the other problem is you can't switch off the aircon, so it's still driven by the shaft from the engine. And the only thing what you can do is switch off the valve, which will not stop it from circulating. And apparently it will overheat and the compressor blew up again. So I have to do that while the engine is out. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the car is oil leak free. I don't see anything dripping, looks dry. So I'm happy with that. And literally, it's just small bits and bobs what need sorting. With the tune, afterwards, I don't know. I have to do the fuel pump in the tank first, and I want to test it, because my plan at the moment is that I will be putting back original fuel pump in the tank with the basket, with the pipes going to the other side of the tank and everything. And I was planning to put additional pump, which is on the relay right now, on the boost gauge, right next to it. But I couldn't really do it in Slovakia because I was quite limited with space and everything. So I'll be having a bit of a fun with it in the UK. And before I gotta take the engine out and be messing about with the gearbox swap, I want to make sure that that pump will be actually working like it was working before, and hopefully there will be no air bubbles. Also on the Nürburgring, I was able to do like 2 laps before I have to go to the petrol station again, because the fuel was moving so much left to the right that the fuel pumps actually caught the bubble and the engine didn't want to go. It's quite dangerous because fuel is quite important to run the engine, cool the engine, and you don't want to have a burn piston or anything like that. Luckily, Mr. Jana from Profit Tuning is that kind of a tuner who's not switching off anything, so any kind of a fault code which will come on the engine will be still shown. The engine will go in a limp mode, there will be engine light, it will show misfires, it will show high NOx, it will show whatever. There's a protection on the temperature, so it is tuned very safely. Even with the camshaft adjusters and the whole timing and everything, it's going like up to 10 degrees. So there's still plenty of room to go, but we don't want to push it, and it's better be safe than sorry. So we're still chasing the 1000 bhp. If the turbo wastegates, springs will not help, so we will go from 1 to 1.1, let's say to 1.3 bar. It will not work. We're just gonna run the car off the cliff or something, or I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So that is the plan. Most likely it will be in February, because I still have to finish the S4 B5s which are lying around here, and yeah, the car will be meanwhile here. So next content with the RS6 will be after New Year sometimes. We'll see how that goes. I have to try to implement the gearbox. I bought it from US, so that will take a bit of a time to actually get here, and meanwhile I'll try to prepare everything so mechanically I can fit it. Electronically wise, I was told it's possible, so I'm really hoping it will be possible. And then of course the car have to go for a retune because of the different injectors and everything, so no hard feeling with MRC. I don't know if the car what they tuned was actually running 1000 bhp. I was looking at the numbers, they look very similar. I'm down by 200 bhp on the same output, so we'll see. Time will tell. So that's a bit of an update with the RS6, and this year we probably did like 13,000 miles in total. So yeah, it was alright. Hopefully next year we're gonna do a bit more. So that's all from the RS6 update. Thank you for watching. Take care for now. See ya.